Hey, Dr. Laura here from Nourishable. I'm in Baltimore at the American Society of Nutrition Conference, and I'm going to share some of the things I learned with you today. So here are three things that I learned. The first was looking at the idea of polyphenols as being prebiotics. So polyphenols are the really bright and colorful compounds that are in a lot of berries. So maybe like blueberries have lots of polyphenols in them, for example. And prebiotics are nutrients that our microbes can use as fertilizer. And then when these microbes digest nutrients, they will then can produce healthy microbe poop. And so previously, a lot of the prebiotic research has really been focused on fiber. So looking at how fiber, say, in oats or fiber in beans and legumes can nourish the microbes in our gut. But this research was looking at polyphenols. So again, those bright pigments that are in a lot of kinds of berries. And what I thought was really interesting as well is that previously we used to think that if you didn't absorb something into your body, that you just pooped it out and it didn't really matter. But now there's this whole idea of compounds being broken down by our microbes, digested by our microbes into new chemicals that can then be used by our body. So I thought that was really interesting. Another side note is that I like to use the word micro poop when I'm describing the chemicals that the microbes poop out after they digest the prebiotics. The actual science name for that is postbiotics. But I like micro poop. So that was thing number one, that polyphenols in berries like blueberries and pomegranates can be prebiotics and used by our microbes to generate beneficial micro poop. Number two was looking back at some ultra-processed diets. So a little while ago, there was a new study that came out showing that if you ate a completely ultra-processed diet, this would drive people to overeat and to gain weight. One of the issues that we had when looking at this study is that defining ultra-processed food can be a little bit tricky. The way it was defined, that has been previously defined in that study, was looking at what kind of ingredients are used to fabricate the food, and were those ingredients highly processed from an original whole food source. And the talk I was at today said, here's another perspective of how we could define ultra-processed food, and it's really to look at the water content in the food. So if we think about whole foods or minimally processed foods, they have a lot of water in them, like fresh fruits and vegetables, whereas a lot of the ultra-processed food that you can say pick up off a grocery store shelf, they tend to have really low amounts of water because all of the ingredients of the foods have been extracted and fabricated and kind of compiled, formulated into this new product that tends to be very low in water. So it's kind of an interesting perspective that you could use when you're out there in the world trying to decide what to eat and you're trying to figure out, is a food ultra processed or not, is really looking at the amount of water that's in it and try and shift yourself more towards the foods that have a higher water content. And then the third thing was something that was mentioned across every session in today, was how important it is for scientists to be on social media and to be communicating the science. There was a big push here for nutrition scientists to be out there translating the nutrition research for the public. And here I am, that's what I'm trying to do. So stay tuned all this week. I'm going to be sharing some of the top things that I'm learning at this conference. And I would love to hear back from you as well. Bye. That's what science tastes like.
Well, this is the first time I'm doing this and I don't know what to do.